Happy Sunday! Y'all, it's Sheba Sunday. Best day of the week, am I right? Except for Fridays when it's the end of the work week and Sheba also does a cool show, Black Bunny Hole. But also Mondays, I guess, is also very cool when Billy does a show. Um, guess what I'm saying is you guys are so lucky that you get to see me and Billy so frequently. The world has felt like a little bit kind of better, kind of worse. Certainly maybe like 2 steps forward, like 8 steps back. I don't know exactly how we fit into the equation just yet, but whatever. Hey, how you guys been doing? How has your weekend been? Hopefully you've been resting. You've been sitting with yourself, letting those feelings of liberation and revolution just like, ignite. Kind of like this Palo Santo. Yeah, welcome to Sheba Sunday. This is episode 14. How did you like episode 13? 13 going on 35. It was all about little Sheba, 13-year-old Sheba, back in the year 2000 and 2001. Interesting time for the world. Certainly was for me. Yeah. Anyway, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Billy is right. This gonna be good. Absolutely. Um, yeah, super freaking grateful this week for just one. You'll see this cool thing I'm wearing. It's a 70s dressing gown, which if you've known me in the past 6 years, I used to wear this all the time. It was one of the first things I bought oh, actually, I've had this for like a decade now that I think of it. I've had this for a long time. It was kind of the first thing I bought when I became a lawyer, I think. I was like, look at me, sexy woman doing it. Um, uh, okay, Erin, your week has been like a carousel, up and down, but we up right now. I love that. Yes. Right, we're at the part in the carousel where it's like, wow, this is like a really cool, fun, absurd experience we're having. The music is silly, everyone's laughing, and we're just chilling, and hell yeah. Great. Yeah, anyway, went to my mom's house this weekend because Billy was interviewed on this podcast, The Tuning Fork, and it was apparently very good. I'm really excited to see it when it's all edited and whatnot. It comes up. I know it's going to be really good. And so while he was doing that, I went to my mama's house, which is not far from DC. And my little brother Zarin was there. My cousin Charlie was there. His husband was there. And my mom was there. And it was just great. My mom has been asking me to move a bunch of clothes that are in my closet out of her house. So it was actually fun to go and, reminisce about oh, look, I remember wearing this. It brought me joy. This was great. And this was one of the things that I remembered, and I'm so glad that I have now. It's like a cool little kimono inspired thing, which is real fun, real comfortable. I also found a lot of just clothes I hadn't seen in a while. So since fashion is cyclical, you'll be seeing, it'll look like I have a new wardrobe, but it's just stuff I haven't worn in 5 years that still works because I'm incredibly stylish and ahead of my time. So yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. The if you want to know what the podcast that Billy was on, it's called Tune the Fork. It's another Black man who's interested in conversation and just figuring out what's going on. I love shit like that. So apparently they had a really great combo. Y'all gotta go check it out. Aaron, check out Tune the Fork too. That's a good one also. Yeah, what time is it? 109. Okay, what else was I grateful for? This awesome dressing robe. Just had a lot of good experiences with Billy. Later today, I'm gonna hang out with my friend who I haven't seen in a long time, catch up. Me and Billy cooked a lot of good food. this week. We had our negotiations meeting, and we're trying to save a little money, so we cooked together at home and had our meeting. And then we made this. I saw on Instagram. It was this like ground lamb on like baguette with this chimichurri sauce. Delicious. So we might add that one into the rotation again. Really good. Got to see our nieces, and they were real cute. Got to hang out with my mom, who's just like sage and awesome. Oh, I just got some cool artwork from my house that was just like, from my mom's house. So it's just cool. I'm really excited to like decorate our home more, our sanctuary more this weekend. I mean, this year, this weekend, please. So it was cool to like have the stuff already and not have to worry about going to get it. I was like, oh, sweet. I already had these cool things. So, yeah. Yay. Yay, Aaron and Billy. Yeah, so way to get through this week. Really proud of you. I know everything's made up, but it can still seem like very real in the moment. So way to get through this one. We're already in March. Like, that's basically almost summer, which is basically almost Halloween again, and then we're going to be in 2024. So don't blink, guys. Don't blink, because it's going to be gone quick. So let's be present in the moment. Thanks for joining me and, chilling. I hope to help ease you into this new week. The Ides of March. How is it already almost the Ides of March, right? Like the 15th or something? That's like coming up. So anyway, yeah, 111. Yes. I'm loved, I'm safe, I'm powerful, I'm free. My timing is perfect. All the good things in my life are infinite. Everything I need is already within me. I'm luck. Everything always works out for me. Money and wealth chase me. I attract money and wealth. And I'm full of grace and joy and ease. Tell me what like your cool affirmations are. I think of it as like, it's like casting spells, and it might be bullshit. It might not work, but what if it does? Like, I don't know. And like, I mean, I found this great kimono. Like, I get to hang out with Billy all the time. Like, it feels very true. All the things. So, that sort of brings us to our topic of this week, episode 14. Our topic is 3 things us women folk, can learn from men. Yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, also at Sheba Biba, and if you like spend, any insignificant amount of time in my presence, like you'll probably know I'm like generally, just not as impressed with men as a whole as everybody else seems to be. Like, I don't get the hubbub, for most of it. However, I gotta be honest, I do admire some things that men do. And I think if we can like learn from that, women, we're going to be like even more powerful. We're going to be even more free and safe and, get everything we want. Yeah. Okay. So number 1 on my list of 3 things women can learn from men. Bros before hoes. That's been when I came on the scene, that was already kind of a saying, but it's kind of the idea that like men and their men friends or acquaintances or people they don't know that they just happen to know are men, they're on their side before they're on the side of women. I have here a list. Billy suggested that I make a little outline thing, and so I like made one. That's a good list. On it, I just jotted down a couple of names. Who are these people that exemplify these 3 different rules that I'm going to go through? There's a lot of overlap, and I just think we can learn a thing or two. So listen up. In the bros before hoes category, I remember when I was like probably 7 or 8 when Bill Clinton was president, and there was the Monica Lewinsky trial, and like the adults were like glued to the TV. Do y'all remember that? It was like I remembered before there was the O.J. Simpson trial when I was in kindergarten, and the adults were like also glued to the TV. And so this was like that again, and I heard it on the radio, and they kept talking about Monica Lewinsky and like how kind of ugly she was, and like, you know, how cool Clinton was. I didn't know, you know, anything about power dynamics really back then, but I was like, huh, okay. Monica Lewinsky is the one who's in the wrong. And Clinton, they like are getting him in trouble for something, but everyone kind of seems to be like, you know, it's a little bullshit. Like, it's, come on, bigger fish to fry. That's what I got the sense, kind of. Anyway, Clinton, Clarence Thomas, we found some, you know, camaraderie for him when a woman, you know, a black woman accused him of workplace sexual harassment. We kind of reveled in, like, you know, being like, okay, but what did he do? Okay, he put pubic hairs on your Coke can. How did you know it was pubic hair? How did you know? It's just like, huh? Adults did that. Like, public servants who we're supposed to think are smart people or whatever. These politicians. Crazy, bonkers. Clarence Thomas. Mike Tyson, you know, very good boxer. Also beat up, what's her name? Robin Givens, right? Was that who he was married to? Beat her up, went to jail for rape. And when he was like in there and when he was out, he was like talking about, he was like, prison was great. Like, I got more pussy in prison than when I was out of prison. You know, but he was still really mad at this woman. He was like, I didn't rape her, but I kind of wish I did because she fucked up my life. She's an asshole. You know, Robin Givens, you know, sure, I beat her, but like, she hit me too. Like, it was a, you know, fair fight. And we're all supposed to just now believe the Mike Tyson versus anyone else is like, well, you know, two sides to every story. Just, we got Mike Tyson. We've got another person from my childhood who, like, everyone was like really defending. Who am I going to say? Robert Kelly. Like, I know, you know, he made catchy tunes, but consider the breadth of humanity and human creative potential. Maybe someone else who wasn't also raping black girls, you know, could have made great music. But they didn't, because they were like, oof, I want to be in the same room as that guy. I don't know. I don't know if that's happened. All I know is that he did really well. Like, he really dominated. Oh my God, my little brother used to do this amazing rendition of I Believe I Can Fly for the talent show when he was like 6 through like 10 years old. It was so good. People like talked about it. The parents were like excited. Is Zarin gonna like sing I Believe I Can Fly? It was so sweet. Such a beautiful thing. We just saw Space Jam. That's in that movie too. It's like, at what cost though? Man. Okay. I'll try and like be briefer. I think a lot of these go without deep explanation. Cosby, Trump, religious leaders, DaBaby, the Cuomo brothers, Kevin Samuel, Johnny Depp. What's his name? I forgot this guy's name. Daystar. What was his name again? Like his rapper name? He's the one who shot Megan Thee Stallion, and I can't think of his thing now. Which should tell you how talented this person is, and like what really, like, why I can't believe that he got so much support from men. But I'm impressed. Oh, hey Billy, should I put this microphone down? I bet he's saying yes, you should. Okay. There we go. Yeah, anyway, Daystar, whatever his name is. And Marilyn Manson, last guy on the list. Lot of, several to many women are accusing him of sexually assault. Um, nay, they said this guy, he sexually assaulted them. I definitely believe them. He sings songs about and talks about being violent and controlling and abusive. Like, he's friends with Johnny Depp, another guy who I don't struggle to believe is violent and controlling and abusive. Actually, all of the dudes on this list are like gross and creepy and kind of just do whatever they want. And like so many people are just, particularly men, are like, well, okay. But, you know, is it cool that the women like told on them? They should have just kept it to themselves. Like, come on, it's so hard out here for a guy. Like, what the heck? Like, I know, but like, not cool. It's just like, really, really. But I am pretty like impressed at their ability to kind of, you know, have that solidarity with people they've never met. These really mostly parasocial relationships. You know, they don't have to know this person at all, but they can kind of put themselves in the position of the man in any given situation. So they're kind of, what do you like, a knee jerk, you know, kind of emotional response is, well, yeah, the man is probably right. And if the woman is saying something, okay, she's probably exaggerating or something, you know, like, what did he really do? What did he say? So those are the well-known people. This all happened like over the past, you know, maybe year or two. I heard a couple of men that I know having a conversation with Billy. You know, when men are like talking to each other, you get to like glean more of their inner world, how they're thinking about things. One of his friends was telling Billy about how like this one guy at not his work, but like in the industry, in like the tech industry, he had been a black man. He had been unjustly reprimanded for hugging women in the office. And the guy was like, and it's such bullshit, you know, like some of the women, I'm sure he had you know, they were friends. That was kind of the relationship they had. It was, you know, it was like all love. It wasn't, and then someone else, some like feminist, you know, saw it and complained, and it's just totally not cool, man, you know? And he didn't get fired, but like, I think he might have quit because he felt, you know, so bad about being accused of this thing. Another guy was talking and was telling Billy this story about how these women were making these obviously bogus claims of sexual assault and or hostile work environment from, I don't know, it was one of these sports betting companies. Is Barstool Sports a sports betting company or something? I don't know, something like that. A kind of boys clubby corporation, you know, and this guy was lamenting to Billy about these like bogus, obviously bogus claims from women who were just trying to bring a guy down. And there was this other guy who was talking to Billy about lamenting that now there are these like super woke workplaces where the men are afraid to even flirt with the women there anymore. And as like I was overhearing these like conversations, I was like, wait, what? Why is it so hard to believe that men in the workplace make women feel uncomfortable by hugging them, you know, without their consent, or, you know, sexually harassing them in some way? Like commenting on their body, asking them out on dates repeatedly, talking about sexual things at work, flirting, you know? The last guy was so, you know, upset about the idea that now men can't flirt with women. They're afraid to flirt in the workplace. Huh? It's like, I don't know about you guys, but I am at work I'm in the workplace because it's the least annoying way to not starve and to keep a roof over my head. Like, I'll tell you, like, as a very beautiful person myself, very, kind of charming person who likes to make people feel good and welcome, like, I hated going into the office because I knew the dudes there were had this overstanding that they were supposed to, like, flirt with me. That I would want them to flirt with me rather than just, I'm just trying to get through my day, like, get in and out, honestly. I don't like to, like, chat at lunch. I don't like to, you know me. I'm not a in the office kind of person. I don't like the whole song and dance that we have to do anyway. And so the idea that men are just kind of, have this internalized understanding that women in the workplace are there for men to, hug or, just like, men aren't supposed to be concerned with women's comfort or safety. And if women say anything about their comfort and safety, they're like, well, why the fuck did you come to the office if you didn't expect to be harassed? And is it really harassing? I mean, he can't hug you. And when I'm like to Billy, I'm like, has any of your bosses ever hugged you? Like, any of your male bosses? What if he came and was just like, hey, buddy. hey, buddy. hey. It's just like, and he was like, no, that would be crazy. That would be crazy, right? Men seem to feel entitled to the privilege of no one flirting with them or trying to have sex with them in the office or making them uncomfortable physically. And, just maybe consider, guys, that women don't want that either. So, but I do clock that these dudes, they don't even know, like, the guys in these woke places or at, Barstool Sports or whatever, or at, the tech guy who, had to quit because he was unfairly reprimanded for hugging. Like, they don't even know these people, but they do know that they're a dude. And they know that they're a dude in the workplace. And so men can be like, I've been a dude in a workplace, so I'm probably going to feel like the guy. So I know the women are being unreasonable, because if I were in that and someone accused me of being bad, I know they'd be wrong. And it's just like, wow. So I feel like maybe, like, I certainly want to try doing that, but with women. Just when I hear a story, I'm like, yeah, of course. That makes sense, girl. Yeah, I'm sure he was making you uncomfortable. I'm sure every time you, like, came into the office, you were like, oh my God, please don't hug me. Please don't. Oh, hi. Okay. Thank you. I absolutely believe that. And, like, I think, yeah, let's just, like, ladies, it's tough out here. And men really support each other, even if, like, the guy is, like, not nice or, just, like, we know he's committed bad acts in the past. Guys are always like, can we watch the game together in relative silence? He's okay by me, Was I there to see him abuse anyone? Okay. Did it really happen then? And the only reason you think that's strange is because we've all been taught to kind of inherently be on the guy's side. To know that, like, oh, let's give him a fair shake, right? I'm doing that for women. Let's give them some grace. And so, yeah. All right, I think that brings us to number 2 of the things we can learn from men. Women, we should learn how to be unapologetically off-putting. You know what I mean? In, like, appearance or demeanor or in their actions. I'm really impressed that men can get up every day. They don't worry too much that they're, not attractive. Maybe they don't smell good. Maybe they, like, make other people feel uncomfortable. They're loud. They say annoying things in an annoying way. They have punchable faces. They're fat. Not things that are inherently bad, but they are things that if a woman does those things, if she has hair growing, if she's like, you know, her boobs aren't in a bra, if her outfit is not just right, if she's fat, if she's ugly, if she's old, if she's like, I don't know, sometimes they're mad at women also for like kind of not being helpful or self-sacrificing or pleasing to men, you know, for not smiling. They're like mad. They're like, you should smile. You would look prettier if you smiled. Like, why do like, that's so interesting to me that like men don't hold themselves to a standard that they have to be like this total package in order to be out in public amongst women and other men. It's very interesting. So the group of men I have on this list, some overlap. I've got Biggie Smalls, you know, who seemed fat, abusive, not very attractive, but was a good rapper. So, you know, was very proud of himself, like thought of himself as a king and a great guy. Lots of men and people agreed. Trump, you know, rich, but otherwise like not that cool to be around in all the ways. Lil Wayne, ugly, seems boring, I'll be honest. Like he does seem like a super like interesting person, not because he hasn't had interesting experiences, but maybe because he's just ran his body through the fucking ringer and hasn't like done the work to kind of let his interestingness shine through. But you don't have to be interesting when you're a dude. You can just be good at rapping sometimes, or the cousin of someone. Which I love that. Mitch McConnell. Can you imagine him in the workplace expecting to flirt with women and for them to take that well? He's just, how are you doing? And somehow got a wife. And I bet he's had sex with more than one woman in his life, which is insane to me. Insane to me. I can't imagine seeing Mitch McConnell in person and my vagina not like retract into my like cervical cavity. I can't believe it. But, you know, white guy with money, it's okay. Doesn't matter if you're off-putting in any other way. They love that shit, you know? Jordan Peterson, you know, not that attractive, but, you know, tells everyone that he's smart, you know? And everyone's like, okay, are you wearing a suit? Great, I love that. Okay, wow, smartest man in the room. I think we have the same like level of education, a college degree and like a doctorate level degree. Am I the smartest person in the room? Yes, absolutely. Kevin Samuels. He has like a degree in chemistry, but he put on a suit and dudes were like, well, you know, I might not agree with everything he says, but he tells it like it is. You know, I respect his right to say it. Like, what? That's crazy. That's not a smart way to live your life. But, you know, I get it, I guess. If people allow you to kind of just not be likable, not be right, not be pleasing, not be interesting or helpful, you know, might as well, I guess. Boris Johnson. Do you know that guy? He's like the British. He used to be like, I don't know if he was the prime minister or something. I don't know. He was a rich white guy, a rich Englishman. That's all he had to be. But his hair was all crazy and goofy. Stephen Stephen Hawking. Also British. Do you know that? I forget because like I think of his robot voice as American sounding, but he's a British guy, rich British guy. That's kind of all you have to be. Boris Johnson and him, like if you're rich and British, the world will have so much grace for you. They're like, you don't have to be attractive. You don't have to be able-bodied. It can like be a chore to let you do your thing. I was reading up on what's his name? Stephen Hawking. Hold on. Let me bring him up real quick. Let me bring up this one part about this white man. Wikipedia. We're gonna go to Sheba Small. Okay, so like, babe. Let's go down here to his personal life. He was married twice. Met his future wife at a party in 1962. He was diagnosed with motor neuron disease the next year. They got married, blah, blah, blah. The couple had 3 children. His disabilities, though, meant that the responsibilities of home and family rested firmly on his wife's increasingly overwhelmed shoulders, leaving him more time to think about physics. And isn't that great? Isn't our world better because this rich white man was able to think about physics longer? Great. Blah, blah, blah. She got a lot of help. She wanted to get with this other guy, and, you know, he said that he would not object so long as she continued to love him. So, you know, the wife was like, all right, I don't want to break up this marriage. So their relationship remained platonic for a long time. Then he got this tracheotomy, required a full-time nurse. Nursing care was split across 3 shifts daily. Hawking grew close to one of his nurses, then told his wife of 30 years that he was leaving her for Mason, and left the family home. And when he got married to this other lady, he said, "It's wonderful. I've married the woman I love." Also, like 15 years later, though, after like, you know, he kind of, he made no public comments. He like didn't see his family. Like the police got involved because they were like, is he being physically abused? We haven't heard from him. And then they quietly divorced, and Hawking resumed closer relationships with his first wife and his grandchildren. The rates of when a woman gets a terminal illness and her husband divorces her are so high that like doctors and nurses have like a protocol for how to like break the news and to like help you prepare, because dudes are just like, they can just expect to, in his case, think about physics. And otherwise, the women are expected to just like, okay, you still have to have the children, run the home, help him have these experiences where he can be out in the world and do all the things he wants to. And when he's done with you, you kind of like gotta, you know, be cool with it, you know? And it's just like, man, nice work if you can get it. I think women definitely don't get the, so I wrote down, men have this power in being ugly and fat or disabled or unwilling or unlikable. You know what I mean by that? Sometimes dudes are just like, I don't know, that's just not how I was raised. I don't want to do that, so I won't. That's just who I am. Huh. I love that. I feel like if a woman is like, hey, I'm fat, you know, and I've always been heavier, and, you know, my life is blah, 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 how it is, and I'm happy, but I do happen to be fat. And men are like, no fatties. No fatties. Doesn't matter how rich she is. Doesn't matter how kind she is, helpful, necessary, willing, submissive. If she's fat, guys are like, nope. And it's so strange. They don't do that for dudes, you know? Biggie's fat. He should be like disqualified. He was fat, and he was like very ugly, and he sounds like he was very mean and controlling. But I mean, I get it. He was like a young kid who wasn't penalized for being those things. So, you know, anyway, it's all to say, we allow a lot from guys. They love being like, hey, I'm me. You might not like me, But that's me. Take me or leave me. And I hope us women recognize that, like, you know, it's much easier to take me. And I am not trying to make myself smaller so someone else will take me. Like, I am sold as is, you know? Like, and look what you get. Like, no offense to Stephen Hawking's. I might not know that much about physics or whatever, but like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm so mad at him right now. Just because I didn't realize he was British, and so I just, Englishman too sometimes. It's like, y'all just had the whole damn world. And like, this is what you did with it. Damn. Game, though. I love that. I love the idea of like, hey, I am enough. It doesn't matter if I'm unpleasing to you. You know, I'm awesome and I deserve the world. I love that shit. Women, we absolutely deserve that. Like, I think we bring a lot more to the table. Like, we're smart, we know how to survive, and we look good. And we make people feel good. Dudes, like, don't have any real pressure to do that. As long as they are, like, willing to have sex with someone, they can kind of feel like, hey, I'm doing it well. Like, I am, you know, nice enough. I'm, you know, smell good enough. It's just like, ugh. And I get it. I've accepted very bare minimum from dudes most of my life. Because everyone says, you know, you're not going to get everything. And like, also kind of a more insidious thing, like, you kind of got to sacrifice a little bit for a dude, you know. You can't really like push them too hard. You don't want to be a nag. You know, if he's not already doing it, just let it go. And like, no. What? Why? Everything's terrible. Yeah. So, just my 2 cents. I think I love what I'm seeing more like pride in being like feminine appearing. So like non-binary people, trans people, women who are like, I hear it's called bimboism. You like do this hyper feminine, like huge tits, you know, plastic kind of appearance, you know, pink, girly, vapid, but intentionally in a way that's like, you know, if someone calls you stupid or whatnot, it's like, okay, you know, who told you that was like a bad thing? That doesn't mean I'm not deserving of everything. And I love that shit. I love Lizzo. I love what's her name? Green Tea Peng. She's she does some cool songs. I like people who are like, I like women who are unafraid to be like off-putting and unattractive to men. And that like, even though men might say that they're like not attractive, the women who are like, my purpose of existence isn't to like attract you. In the same way that many men don't seem to be super concerned that they are not like attractive to women, you know, they still live their life perfectly happy, getting to, you know, do what they want. I love that for them. And I love that for us. So, you know, just know that you're the prize. You know, be a Kevin Samuels. You know, throw on a suit, spew a bunch of dumb shit that sounds pseudo-intellectual, and receive the love, receive the support and grace and accolades that, you know, dudes reserve for other dudes. Like, I hope to give that to women who are just as audacious at being like, hey, this is me. Take it or leave it. I love that. I love that for you. Okay, so I think that takes us kind of like number 3. Yeah. Third thing. And it's kind of two things, but it's one thing. Kind of like making up your path, charting a path, and controlling the narrative. Men are really good at that. Men are really good at that. Kevin Samuels, for instance, chemistry guy. Like, I think we all know, like, college isn't like that difficult. And he's just like, hey, I want to be a relationship expert. Let me throw on a suit, get myself in front of a microphone, turn on the camera, and I think people are going to love me. And they do. Everyone refers to him as like a relationship expert. Why? In what way has he successfully demonstrated his prowess at relationships? Certainly not his expertise on it. However, he just says it. And everyone kind of like, okay. I love that. Ladies, do that, Like, I feel like guys are always like, questioning our expertise on things. They're like, oh, you're a football fan. Name all the teams in the NFC. Like, my sister could name all those. And I think she's a really awesome person. And she should be on these ESPN things. And I feel like she's a dude. She could just like put on a suit and walk in and be like, hey, Stephen A. Smith, sportsy balls. And like, they would be like, I like the cut of your jib, man. Yeah, come on. Now we're going to talk with like Shannon Sharp and it's just like this like circle jerk of mediocre dudes just co-signing each other. And I, for one, am here for it, ladies. Let's do that. Who cares if, like, dudes will make up a thing and just demand that everyone be interested in it. And they will operate at a loss for a long time in the hopes, like, of just, like, kind of creating an image of success of this thing. And, like, sure enough, they get other people to buy into the grift. Audacious. I love that for them. Tom Brady... Do you hear that he's he wants to get into stand-up? He's in talks with Netflix for a stand-up special. Thomas Brady, who I think is a football player, who is, won a lot of Super Bowls. He was on that Cheaty team, right? And he married the supermodel. And she divorced him, probably because he's boring and doesn't worship her, if I had to guess. And now, because he's a dude, they're just like, well, why not do a thing that I'm probably not that good at, but I like. It's fun to do stand-up, to make people laugh. To make people laugh is like a very powerful, awesome thing. And to think that Tom Brady is going to have the funding of Netflix and a bunch of sycophants, fanboys, fanboying all over him, he might get the message that he's good at stand-up. And then it's just like, wow, everything is made up. So, ladies, if you're worrying about that, like, you're not funny, that you're not interesting, that no one will want to watch you, trust me, that wouldn't stop a man. He would be like, oh, let me just sidle up to some other dude and hang around him for a long time. And eventually, I'll be there. It's like, ladies, go for it. Tucker Carlson. He's a Fox News, just calls himself a journalist. He's an actor, as I've learned. All of those journalists, they're actors. They put on their suit and they give you the breaking news tonight. We have, in Tucker Carlson, his father, I think, was also like a kind of gonzo journalist, like sensational, mudslinging, just like, entertainer. And now his kid, like, wears his bow tie and looks as Kanye West or Donald Trump or someone else says the most insane shit. He feigns intellectual curiosity. And everyone's just like, yep, he did it. He's a journalist. Like, brava. The audacity, ladies, that could be you. You just gotta make it up and be like, yeah, this is who I am. You don't have to understand it. I don't have to be comprehensible to you. But you are gonna take it. I love that. Ladies, that can totally be us. Just do it. Who else? Donald Trump. You know, like John Barron or something. That was just like, when Trump was still on the come up and getting well known, because he was already from a rich family, he would have his like publicist or his lawyer, this guy John Barron, who you like they realized was Donald Trump. He would plant stories. He would pay and be like, hey, this guy Donald Trump is a real cool guy, or, you know, everybody knows that Trump is a cool person. And it's just like, just because he says it, everyone's like, okay. I mean, I don't think that John Barron's a real guy. I'm pretty sure that's just Trump wearing a mustache and not even masking his voice, but fine. And they just write it down, and everyone just like is okay with it. RuPaul says, wear your identity like a loose garment. And I know that like a lot of the right and the powerful hate that idea. They really want everyone else to think like, no, you are who you are. You're a boy, and that means very specific things. You're a girl, and that means very specific things. And but actually, they understand they can kind of be whoever they need to be, whoever they want to be in the moment. Whatever's going to help them through, they'll be that. Trump will be a Christian one day. He'll be in the boys club, you know, grabbing them by the pussy the next day. He'll be, you know, a patriot the next day, a father. And it's just like love that, you know, be who you want to be. Okay. Like literally this is all made up. And like, oh, he just came out with a rap album. Did you hear that? And if you're like, who? Donald Trump? Yes. Hold up. Donald Trump rap. Oh, it's tough because it's like Trump's rap sheet, epic rap battles in like that involve Trump. What? He's the fourth rapper to rap in 3 different rap battles. Okay, I can't find it. But maybe if Billy knows what I was talking about. It was just, when I heard it, that he was like making an album or a song with prisoners, some of the people who did the Capitol 6th riot. What is it? The January 6th riot. You know, the insurrection. You might remember. Google. Donald Trump song January 6th. Wouldn't that be crazy if that was the song name? Oh my god. Hold on. Okay. Singing the Coos. That's a pretty clever headline. Hold on. So yeah, Trump releases song with January 6th prison choir. It's literally, I was just talking about the Fighting Temptations. No, thank you. I know, I like hate any of these things. Let me see. Ugh, Vanity Fair, they're all dumb. They're all terrible. Owned by oligarchs. It's tough, but oh my god, yes. Trump, what's your people are like, what's your favorite verse from the Bible? Trump, all of it. Clever, you know? Like, he gave him an answer. It is obviously not it, but look how little pushback they got. And I bet after that, he was like, I don't know, Corinthians 2? Didn't even have to, account for it. I'm very impressed with that. Yeah, he dropped a new single in collaboration with rioters imprisoned for their alleged involvement in the Capitol riot. Is it alleged or were they imprisoned? Wow. It's called Justice for All. Features an echoey version of the Star Spangled Banner, interchanged with Trump reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Oof. It ends with the J6 prison choir chanting, USA, USA. Wow. So, are you someone who has a song in your heart, who wants to sing about something, who wants to express? You gonna let Donald Trump beat you to it? You gonna let him, be more audacious than you? Especially if you're a woman. Come on. These dudes don't even have to be good. You remember when, what's his name? The one who killed Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman. He was selling paintings and things like hucksters. Just they are not letting shame stop them. And we don't have to do that either. Okay, let me get through these last two people. DJ Khaled. You know him, the guy who says, "We the best. I'm the best. There's no one better than me. I'm a genius." And guess who just won a Grammy? DJ Khaled. Maybe it's because he just keeps saying he's the best. So, ladies, do that. Finally, Charlemagne the God. You might have heard of him. His given name is Leonard Larry. His parents took one look at him when he was born and was like, Leonard Larry. What a weird thing to call a child. But okay, each their own. And he sold crack to black people. He went to jail. And then he started, doing radio show things, talking bullshit. He changed his name to Charlemagne, added the God, and now everyone just calls him that. I love it. And trans people are supposed to feel bad for changing their names, for choosing their names. Girl, if you don't name yourself right now, I am lucky. My parents took one look at me and named me Sheba. Named me after a famous queen. So I had a great head start. But, maybe you got something else, or maybe, you are going for a different vibe. Change it up. It's made up, girl. Do it. Name yourself. Yeah. Okay, so next part of this. What is it? Crystal ball. Visions. Ooh, she does visions. Okay, so we have gone through a lot of clear examples of ways in which men, they support each other. They, they don't care if the dude is not nice, not fun, is mean, is, unattractive, has done bad things, makes everyone uncomfortable. If they're a dude, they're okay in most dudes' books. So, ladies, we gotta have some solidarity. I hear things from dudes that women don't support each other, that they're catty. And I think that's something that men say in order to get women not to, get together. Because in my experience, women are always the ones who are including me and elevating me. Men are always elevating their dude friends or, excluding me based on me not being, a dude. Not doing the things that dudes are good at or interested in. And I don't know. I just think women are awesome. So let's band together. What were the things? Hos Before Bros. Be unapologetically off-putting. Are you fat? They gonna get this fat belly. Is your skin not perfectly smooth? Is it wrinkled? Good. You have stayed alive long enough to gain some wrinkles. Your cells were I don't like the conditions here. I quit. Great. Learn from them. Love that for you. You know? Are you loud? Do people like think about you like, man, that person is abrasive? Good. They're not gonna forget you. You gonna leave a mark. Love that for you. Controlling the narrative. You wanna change your name? Do it. People keep wanting to hold you to something that you've done in your past. So what? That was several versions of you ago. Now, you can be whoever you want. You can be a god. You can be a blasphemer these days, and everyone just kind of accepts it. Great. Do that. I think that's what we need, right? So yeah, let's control the narrative. The idea of like, a walk of shame. Why would I be ashamed that like I just got some pleasure? Hot. Why would I be ashamed that like, I don't know, hair grows out of my armpits? Like, or like my boobs are saggy. I don't know. It's just like, that just is. It's okay. Why would I care that like, I think there are probably people who are like, when you get whatever job you have, you kind of have to stay there for the rest of your life. I don't know. Why? You can just kind of do whatever you want. And you absolutely should. And whenever people are like, oh, you have to be this, be like, why? Are you keeping on the lights, baby? Then I don't need your 2 cents. Anyway, really impressed with all of these dudes and how they've banded together to co-sign each other. And ladies, let's do that. Be unapologetically off-putting. If you're ugly, if you are, off-putting, if you are unhelpful, if you're unwilling to do something, hell yes. I support you. Do it. Great. Our foremothers and sisters have done all that bullshit so that we don't have to anymore. Let's not. Let's Charlemagne the God this. Let's just be loved for how imperfect we are, how unwilling we are to be flexible on how we're treated. Yeah, I think if we harness that energy, we're going to get us liberated. We're going to have us a liberation, ladies. We're going to continue it. It's a process. So get used to it. Be unapologetic about it. Yeah. Okay. Final thoughts. Final thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is an interesting one. I didn't know how it was going to come out, but I like it. I think we talked about some cool things. I know there are probably predominantly men listening to this right now, and I hope you were able to learn a lot of stuff from your compadres. If you're like trying to do something, express something, what are you waiting for? Donald Trump would. Kevin Samuels would. Who are these idiots? Man, Cuomo, fucking Tucker Carlson, Marilyn Manson, just doing what they want. Clarence Thomas, Tyson, all of them, just, really confident that everyone is going to have grace for them. And that even if they don't get it the first time, they're going to be allowed to try and try and try again. And do that. Make up your identity, change it at will, be unapologetically, off-putting? Absolutely. Women, how often do we apologize? Like, I've been starting to like say on these, like, I'm not apologizing anymore. I'm always like, I'm sorry. Did that make sense? I don't care if it makes sense to you. I don't care if I'm incomprehensible. In fact, now I will take it more of a badge of honor if people are like, what? What's with her? Wouldn't you like to know? So yeah, those are 3 things we can learn from men. Bros before hoes. No, flip that. Hos before bros, unapologetically off-putting, controlling your narrative. Love that for us. Okay, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow for How Billy Sees It. He's going to be talking about this Dominion lawsuit against Fox News. Have you heard? There's this SNL sketch about it now, and basically, Dominion was like, yo, Fox News, y'all are knowingly spreading these stolen election lies, things are untrue, blaming us, like we're this voting machine company that's doing bad stuff. We're not. And like, we're going to sue you for that. Like, something billion. And all of their text messages are kind of like, yeah, this is such bullshit. But, we're actors. We just say what's on the script. Anyway, Billy's going to talk about it. So it's going to be even more interesting and sure coherent, than I just explained it. But yeah, you're going to love it either way. And then next Friday, I'm going to be talking about, I think I'm going to talk about on the Black Bunny Hole, Candace Owens. Oh, what? I know, especially when you mesh that in with the lessons we learned from today about Hos Before Bros. What will I say? Oh, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, let me give you a little kiss, because I don't know how this week is going to go for you, but everything is made up, and I love you. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Next week, have a good one. Remember, everything is made up. So, harness that energy for yourselves. I'll miss you, but I'll see you soon. Hey, Dolly, you see her? Hey, Dolly. All right, I will play you out with some music, and I'll see you next week. Let's see, and go.